Welcome back to the Ant on the Move podcast. Today we are talking about some events and things that are happening around Florida in the month of February. So one of the things I want to talk about, of course, is SeaWorld. Some cool things happening there. But before we get to that, let me tell you about a few other events that are taking place. I apologize in advance for my voice, having some issues with that, but the podcast must go on. So we will try to get through it here. Probably be a shorter podcast, but just give you some highlights of some things that are happening in Florida, specifically looking at like Central Florida. One big thing, I knew this happened. I haven't been to any of these events, but BBQ festivals. There's a lot of different barbecue festivals here in Central Florida. Let me see if I can tell you what some of them are. So the first weekend, the 4th and the 5th, will be Smoke on the Water. The 11th and 12th will be the Apopka Proud Barbecue Showdown. The 18th and 19th will be the Ribs on the Ridge. And there's also another one on the 19th. There's a whole list of them. I'll try to link to that in the episode. I was gonna say episode notes, the episode description, so you guys can check that out. Also happening right now, not big on wanting to push Disney or anything, but it is the EPCOT Festival of the Arts happening right now. So they've got cool food. They're doing live entertainment. They're doing Disney on Broadway concert series. They have 3 shows every evening. Pretty impressive. All kinds of, just if you're chalk art, kids chalk art, all kinds of things happening. That only runs, it started in January 14th. On January 14th, it'll run to February 21st, and it is at EPCOT. So check that out. Let me see, what else do I want to mention? Of course, the Super Bowl's coming, so there's going to be big things happening for that all around. So if you're interested in that, check that out. The Osceola County Fair is taking place. Let me see what the dates are on that. That would be February 11th through the 20th. And they have hours every day, it looks like. Let me see. It's going to be happening at Silver Spurs Arena. They're going to have the annual Monster Bulls taking place. Ooh, that is cool. I did go to see that one year. Was it Bulls? Yeah, we went and saw the Bulls one year. I was hoping to see more of like actual rodeo, but we did get to see the Monster Bulls event. That was pretty cool. And the Silver Spurs Rodeo will take place on the February 18th through the 20th. And that'll also be at Silver Spurs, which is really cool. Let me see what they're going to have. They're going to have a bareback bronco riding, barrel racing, saddle bronc riding, steer wrestling, team roping, things like that. So that'll be pretty cool. I want to go to that. I don't think I have enough time, though. But we'll have to check that out. Also, skipping over to the other side of the state, I did not know this was happening. It is the Tampa Bay Chocolate Festival. This is happening only one day, February 12th. From 1 to 9 p.m. But let me see what they say here. It is a chocolate-themed food truck event that features an array of delights made from chocolate. So that does actually sound pretty cool. It says there's only one rule for vendors. Anything goes, but it must be chocolate related. There'll also be non-food vendors selling things as well. Free entry and free parking. So that sounds pretty cool. Check that out. The Tampa Bay Chocolate Festival. I'll try to link where I found this stuff so you guys can see it. Oh, another cool event. I knew there's something else I was forgetting. Daytona Speed Weeks is coming up, starting basically the... Let me look at the calendar. Can't remember what the date is, and it's not showing me here. Let me see what it is. I know the kind of culminates on the 20th, but it kind of begins... It begins for sure on like the 17th. That's when one of the first big races happen. But it's basically from like Valentine's Day through the 20th of February. It's going to be all kinds of car racing things happening, events happening, just a lot happening in the Daytona area. So if you live in Daytona, to kind of avoid the speedway as much as possible. But that's going to be very exciting. We'll have a podcast about these, probably like Speed Weeks, the Daytona 500, the Combustion Gamer and I are going. I think this will officially be, we're going not to the big race, we're going to what is called the Duels, or is that what they're calling it still? I don't know. They keep changing the name on this thing. Yeah, the Duels at Daytona is what they're calling it. Where it's setting up who's going to have, I think, the the lead position, somehow setting the field for the race. It's just giving everyone a chance to practice and race under the lights, get people to spend money at the at the racetrack. But it's kind of the big opening, one of the big opening festivities. So we're going to go to that. We're going to talk a little bit about it before. I'll talk about some afterwards probably, but that'll be exciting. Let me see. Any other cool events? I don't think so. So let's talk about what I really want to talk about, which is... Oh, I do want to mention real quick, side thought real quick. If you are visiting Florida, or if you happen to live here, this is a great time of year to go to some of the springs, like Blue Springs. There's a spot here in spot near Cape Canaveral, not Cape Canaveral, more Merritt Island, Titusville. There's a spot where you can go and see manatees because they're coming in to try to find warmer water. So if you do want to see a good spot of like lots of manatees together, this is the time of year to check it out. I know Blue Springs is a great place to do that. I think there's a place called Little Sister Springs as well that's also supposed to be pretty good. So check that out if you are interested. But now let's talk about what I wanted to talk about, SeaWorld. So a couple things happening, or several things happening, honestly. So right now there are previews for Icebreaker. If you are a past member, there's different times you can go and test out and try your ride. Get to do it before lots of other people do it, ride on Icebreaker. So that is happening right now. Its official launch date for anyone to be able to ride is February 18th. If I remember correctly, I think I'm right. So that's very exciting about that. But the other thing happening starting on February 4th is the Seven Seas Food Festival. Now, I mentioned this a little bit recently, but they have updated their menu now. So I wanted to go through and tell you a little bit about what's on the menus. In addition to the menu, there's the different food. There's also some concerts happening. I have no idea what the concerts are, who's playing. You have to check the website, but there will be like one big show each weekend at the Bayside Stadium, and then they have usually like some smaller artists, local artists, at different points around the park. Some could be in the shopping area. Some usually they have somebody over by the sharks. There's a little spot that could be by the sharks, and often there's someone by Wild Arctic. There's usually someone in there, usually doing music, and they could have them in other spots as well, but check that out. So there are 50 unique eats for this year, and they're going to be running, you can get the food. They're going to have it Thursdays and Fridays from 1 until park close, and on Saturdays and Sundays from 12 until park close. So there are 24 locations. Real quick, the sampler pass, sampler lanyard right now, you can purchase it 10 samples for $65 or 15 samples for $80. And my understanding is you do not get, if you're a pass member, you do not get a discount on that purchase. What they haven't revealed what it is yet that I can find, but usually pass members get an exclusive deal. It's telling me take advantage of the sampler offer. I'll try to find what that is, and I'll let you know here in a little bit. But first, let's talk about what some of these foods are, because I'm very excited. So there are a ton of different foods. The main thing, I'll be completely honest, the main thing that they're kind of pushing is alcohol. There is a ton of alcohol, and that is not up my alley at all. So I have no interest in that. But they do have a lot of cool foods that I'm kind of excited. Some I'm like, I'm not super interested in, but some do actually sound kind of interesting. So, for example, let me try to find a spot that sounds interesting. So one place would be it's going to be the All-American Market presented by Kraft Heinz. They're going to have the funnel cakes there. They're also going to have brisket tachos, which sounds really good. They're going to have with slowly smoked brisket, crispy potato tots, and Kraft Heinz mayo ketchup. So I'm guessing mayo ketchup combined together. Sounds interesting. At the Polynesian Market, I want to try and this is new for this year, It's a luau barbecue lamb ribs. So it's going to be a pineapple barbecue sauce on top of tropical rice. And I have to admit, that sounds pretty good. Let me see what else they have. They have the North Atlantic market, which is going to have a lot of seafood, like clam chowder, I believe it is, yes. They have a lot of new things for this year, which is kind of exciting. They have the Italian market, where they're going to have hot mozzarella with cherry tomato bruschetta, if I pronounce that right. And they also going to have some cheese meatballs, which sounds really good. The pictures look delicious, so it's very exciting about that. Let me see. The Mediterranean market is going to have hummus with Parmesan kettle chips, and their chips are actually pretty good. I've had those there. And also grilled lamb chops, which is going to be marinated with rosemary, garlic, and mint. I'm getting hungry here. But let me move on, because they have a new one, a totally new spot they're going to do. They have, right now, they have the Brazilian market, the Asian market. Oh, yes, Ireland is the new one. So they're going to have a crispy Reuben egg roll, a classic mini shepherd's pie, which actually sounds really good. I can see the picture. It looks pretty neat. And then a glazed corned beef, which actually doesn't sound too bad. Sounds interesting. They have the German market, which is going to have the schnitzel and a pretzel bratwurst. Let me see. They can have beignets. Mexican market is going to have new mini churro bites, which is a good idea. Good thing to have there. They have something on the picture. I can't tell what it is. I think it must be shrimp tostada. Looks interesting. Looks a little pale, but they have that. But there's just a lot of cool looking foods. It's going to be very, very interesting to see. I haven't tried it before. That's what I'm trying to say here. I haven't tried it before. The first time we did one of their food lanyards was back at Christmas time. We realized that yes, this is actually a really good deal. So we're kind of excited to try the Seven Seas Food Festival this time. It'll be pretty cool. Now I'm looking to see if I can find out what the offer is here real quick. They're probably not going to tell us until February, but I'm just looking to see what the pass member discount or benefit will be. Let's see if it's under offers here. For the, yeah, they're not saying yet. It says log in to see, but it's not telling me yet. Because right now the rewards are still up for January. They haven't switched over to the rewards and benefits for February just yet. Let me just check discounts real quick, see if it shows anything here. No, it's just telling about all-day dining, quick queue, things like that. No, nothing yet. So it'll probably be up probably next week. Too early. Let me check the dining thing real quick, just see if it says anything. No. Okay. And there is one other change you need to know about SeaWorld. If you happen to do the all-day dining, or you're planning to do all-day dining, you need to be aware that it has changed from once every 60 minutes you can get a drink, side, dessert, whatever, to once every 90 minutes. So make sure you're aware of that. That it changed. We were in the park at the very beginning of January, and that had just changed, so be aware of that. They do have it in writing in different places now, but just be aware it is every 90 minutes now, not every 60 minutes. So, all right, well, that I think is all of the things I wanted to talk about. Just kind of letting you know what's happening here in Florida, what's happening at SeaWorld, what I'm excited about. Hopefully I can get into the park thinking next weekend, beginning the Seafood Festival, Seven Seas Food Festival. We'll see what happens, but I'm hoping to be there. So if you have any questions, things you want me to answer about SeaWorld or about Florida, please leave me a comment in the video or send me a message through Instagram, and I'll do my best to answer that. But thank you so much for listening. Tune in next time for the next Ant on the Move podcast.